Hello and salute everybody. Welcome back to Chatting with Nicole. So, you know how I'm super grateful for you, right? I'm super grateful for me that we get to see another day. You are listening to me, hearing me right now, wherever you are. I am able to speak to you today. So, I am super grateful for you, for me, because again, we are breathing. We get another chance of life today. So, thank you very much for being here. Today, as I'm sitting right here, I'm having a difficult time. For the first time, well, not like, it didn't happen before, but this time I'm having a very difficult day because today is July 17th, and it is anniversary of my mother's passing. And I never really talked to anybody about this or discussed this because you know how we have to always strive to be strong. But today it is really hitting me hard. It is really hitting me hard, and I'm thinking about maybe it's because of everything that is going on around the world. The shooting, the assassination attempt, and everything that is just going on. I'm getting videos sent to me left and right. Think everything that is going on in Africa, all the different countries. The craziness going on. I don't know. Maybe that's the reason why, but as I'm going through this today, and as I'm trying to encourage myself, because again, we have to encourage ourselves. Sometimes, you know, there you can't say anything to other people, and sometimes even if you say it to other people, the way they'll respond may not be what you want to hear. Or anyway, I just feel like sometimes, especially some of us who do not have support behind us, some of us who do not have family members next to us, close to us, some of us, we are here alone. Like right now, I live with, look, that is a TMI. Let me leave it alone. But, sometimes, some of us who do not have people around us and encouragement and, big families, and I know big family has its problems too, but sometimes it is hard. It is very hard. And today is hitting me. It is hitting me really hard. But I woke up, I got up. Like I normally do. I did not let this stop me in any way. I went to work. I gave it my all. Nobody even knew. I didn't even talk about it at work. I just went as normal. But inside me, I am feeling it. And as I was going to talk about something else. But I'm like, you know what? It is possible that somebody out there is feeling the same thing I'm feeling right now. Somebody out there is going to a funeral, going to a loss of a loved one, going to anniversary, going to services, going through something. It doesn't even have to be a loss of somebody. Somebody is being fearful, or somebody is going through some challenges right now, questioning, and going through things. So I'm like, you know what? Let me just have this conversation. Let me just put it out there. You guys know how I'm feeling today, and give you, as I'm going through, after I am done working, I went through certain verses in the Bible, certain stories that really got me. And I was like, you know what? I have to share this with somebody. I have to share this. So the way this helped me, I want to make sure that, I can help you if you're going through some challenges right now. Because sometimes we wonder and we ask the question, why? Why me? Why is it just me? Why am I going through this? Why do I not have help? Why do I not have support? Why is it that I am always here for everybody, but nobody's here for me? Why am I alone? Why am I struggling? What is going on? Why are things not working the way it should work, but it's working for somebody else? We have why? We have doubt. We cry out. And sometimes we apologize for it. Sometimes we don't want to do it. We keep it inside, especially we women. And I know, men, you do it too. But women, we keep it inside because we want to show that we are strong. We want to show that we can handle it. So we keep it inside. And sometimes we feel like if we say something, people will think that we are weak. People will think that, we are asking for help, or we are being pity. All these things in our head. I can't even imagine to have to bring all the scenarios out. But I know that right now, I know there is somebody out there. There's somebody who's going through something that I was going through. And I want to share some verses that have helped me today. I know the day is still young, and it is still tomorrow. Every day, people tell you that when you lost a loved one, with time, it gets better. With time, it gets better. And I also say that to some people, but I always have to say that, yes, it gets better, but at the same time, you're going to remember, especially your parents. You're going to remember when it is Mother's Day, you're going to remember. When it's Father's Day, you're going to remember. When you are feeling that, you're talking to somebody and they're like, oh, my mom did this, my mom did that, you're going to remember. Every time they call their parents, you're going to remember. So even though time, it makes it better, it makes you feel better, it is still difficult. It is still difficult because you are always going to remember. I remember when my mom died and one of our aunties, and she was like, was it my father or my mom? By the way, I'm a complete orphan. My mom and my dad, I don't have both of them. I don't have neither one of them. Let me get it right. And she said that, what, it was my dad. He said, I save your cries because you're going to be crying your whole life. She said that you're going to remember him every time anybody doing something for their parent. Anytime somebody say their parent's name or, Mother's Day, something, you're going to always remember. And she wasn't lying. And I learned that as the years goes on, I remember, and I realized that what she has told me years ago, it was a long time ago. My dad passed before my mom, years before my mom. But, that carried on with me. And I always reminded everybody that I'm comforting that, what, and you're going to remember, you're going to feel sad all this time, but just try to find the good memories, the good memories, and to carry on and remember her in the good days and remember them in the good days. And what also helped is learn to do something good for other people. Like if you have a friend who had a parent, an older parent, or have a parent, and you have a relationship with them, do something for them. Do something nice for somebody else's parent, and that helps. Anyway, so besides from all of this, the verses that really got me going today, I feel a little bit better. One of them is the story of Elijah. Elijah was somebody. I always say that Elijah was spoiled. God spoiled Elijah. So long story short, Elijah, when there was a drought, God asked him to pray for a drought. So I want you guys to read 1 Kings 17. 1 Kings 17, 1 Kings 17 and 18. That's the story of Elijah, where I really want you to get it. But you can read the whole book of Kings, if you have some time. Elijah, God asked him to pray for no rain, for rain not to fall because of idols, because of sins. And he prayed, and the rain stopped for 3.5 years. So when the rain stopped, God ordered him to go to a specific place. And he ordered a raven. God ordered a raven to feed Elijah with bread and meat twice a day. And he made water fall for him to drink every day. So God told him, yes, there's the drought. He was punishing because it was sin everywhere. So he said, I'm going to take care of you. I want you to go stay right here. He gave him specific location, specific address. He said, go stay here. I'm going to order a raven to feed you. And you're going to drink from there. You will have water. Even though there's drought, there's no water anywhere. But I'm going to make water fall for you to drink. Just like he did it for the children of Israel in the wilderness for 40 years, right? So Elijah went. So he ordered a raven. God does his miracles somehow. He always uses the impossible. He always wants to make the impossible possible. A raven, if you know story of raven, ravens love meat. Raven do not share their meat. But because raven is a creation of God, God is the creator of raven, he ordered a raven to feed him twice a day with bread and meat. So that means that I have to say, they didn't say where the meat and bread was coming from, but I know it was coming from heaven. So raven fed Elijah morning and night. He was able to eat breakfast and dinner through a raven. delivery, special delivery from a raven. If you look at, and that is one time. And then from verse 6, that's verse 6, the raven fed him. On verse 8 and 16, after that, he ordered him to go to town and stay with a widow. And this widow only have a little flour and oil that he was about to use. The last one he was about to use for himself and her son. And that was the last thing they had. After they ate, she was expecting after they ate that night, the next day there will be nothing else. They're just gonna die. But God ordered him to go to town. And he ordered this widow to feed him, right? So the widow, he went to the widow, and widow like, I only have a little bit of flour and a little bit of oil I'm about to use to feed myself and my son. And even after that, next day, we are expected to die because we don't have anything else. And Elijah said, God sent me to you, and I promise you, he will prophesy. He said, I promise you, go and cook for me. Make me my own meat, make me food, and make me some cake, and do it for your son, because your flour and your oil will never finish until it rains. And it happened. So this widow obeyed, and she went and did as Elijah ordered, as God ordered. And they ate Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday through Sunday, month after month after month. They didn't say exactly how long it took, but that little bit of flour that this woman has and oil never finished. They ate and ate and ate until it rained. So that's the two miracles right there, right? Besides from praying for rain and praying without rain. And Elijah, he saw this. These are miracles that God did for him, right? So on the 17th, it's King 17th, verse 21 to 23. Elijah, that widow's son, died. And Elijah prayed and resurrected the dead child. Follow me. I'm getting somewhere here. So Elijah resurrected the dead child. A dead child, he resurrected a dead child. And verse 18, if you move to verse 18, Elijah was able to kill thousands of false prophets because he prayed. There was a kind of competition. So I want you to read. This is very exciting. I want you to read. There was a competition because God wanted to kill all the idols because there were sins everywhere. There was idols. There were false prophets that were making people, worship false idols, right? And God wanted him to pray for rain because 3.5 years has passed. Now it is time for rain to fall. But in order for rain to fall, they have to kill all the idols. All the false prophets needs to die. So Elijah prayed, and God, sent fire for offering. So he did a competition. He told them to pray for their God, their idols that they were praying for, and pray for them and see that their idols will come and save them. They pray all day. Their gods never came. So it was Elijah's turn. So Elijah, when it was his turn, he also prayed, and God came, the fire came and burned everything, even through water. So God won, like he always wins, right? So Elijah did this for the people. Before he did, he prayed for all of this to happen. He has to kill all the false prophet, thousands and thousands of false prophets. Elijah on his own, he killed all these prophets. I know it's terrible, but he has to kill all the false prophets. He has to take out the sins before God can actually come back and reign among the people. So you have to take the sins out. So Elijah himself, he prayed for the fire to come down, and then he killed all the prophets. And he prayed. God told him to pray. After he killed the prophets, now he prayed. God told him to pray. Now it's going to rain after 3.5 years. After 3.5 years. So he went and prayed. He prayed 1 time, 3 times, all the way to 7 times. He sent his servant to go see if it's going to rain. It didn't rain. He continued to pray because he had faith. He knows that God does not lie, right? So 7 times, and then his servant saw a dove. Like a cloud in the size of a hand, right? And he came and told him, and it rained. And he prayed for rain to stop, and he prayed for rain to fall. And Elijah, when it was going to rain, he told the king Ahab that they have to go back because it's going to rain. They don't want the rain to fall on them. So the king was in the carriage. I'm gonna use a car. Let's say BMW. The king was in the BMW, but Elijah was on his feet. He was running. But he was running on his feet. He was not in a car. They didn't take him. The king was in his carriage. Elijah ran past the carriage, the car. Let's use a car, right? I said we use a car. Elijah, even though he was running on his feet, he bypassed the king and made it before the king got there. So I am giving all of this to say that this man, he did all of this. But then this same man, after all these miracles that he saw, how he was on top, how God spoiled him, a raven fed him, all the miracles that he did. When the queen decided to kill him because the queen wanted to kill him because he killed all the idols. Because the queen and the king, they were dining and enjoying life and, having parties with the false prophet. Because Elijah killed the false prophet, the queen wanted to kill him. With everything that he's seen God has done for him, all the miracles, all the amazing things that God has made him do, when he heard that the queen was going to kill him, Elijah went to hide. This same man who was on top of everything, he went to hide. Why? Because I was like, when I read this, I'm like, wait, with all these miracles, with all these blessings and everything God did through you, why would you be afraid and go hide in a tomb? He went and hid in a cave, actually. He went and hidden in a cave because he was so afraid. Even with everything God did, he was sad. He was disappointed. He was sorry because he felt left alone. He felt alone because he felt like God has abandoned him. When the queen was going to kill him, he was trying to arrest him and kill him. He felt alone, even though he knew the power of God. And when I read this, I'm what? Why? Why would Elijah, he ran on his feet past the car to Jezreel. He ran and passed all these miracles, but he was in a cave. He went into the cave because he was scared. And I asked myself, why? And it wasn't until I remember I have to read James. You go to James 5:17 through 18. And James introduced Elijah as, he said, Elijah was just like any other man like you and I. So even though Elijah did all these miracles on these blessings, he was just like you and I. When I read that, I'm like, yes, he was just like you and I. What does that mean? That means that he has a corruptible body. That means that he has a corruptible body. He's human like you and I. He feels like you and I. He's afraid like you and I. He gets disappointed like you and I. He gets discouraged like you and I. He gets hurt like you and I. He sins like you and I. Like you and I. He's just human like you and I. So, when I read that means that even though God went through him, even though God used him, even though he's seen all these miracles, all the things that he did for God, and he's seen the power of God, at the end of the day, he's just still human. So sometimes, no matter how strong we think we are, no matter how faithful we see everything and everything is going, at the end of the day, sometimes we are just human. So even though he went through all of that, at the end of the day, he still felt abandoned. He still felt alone, knowing all of these miracles, knowing that God can deliver him and save him from this queen. He still felt abandoned. He still felt alone. He still felt sad. And he still felt that he has to go and hide in a cave. So wherever you are, I am telling you that it is okay to feel sad. It is okay for you and I to feel sad, to feel discouraged, to feel lonely, and to mourn our loved ones, to go through things, because we are human. Another story I want to tell you, Luke. I want to give you a story of John. John, I'm going to tell you that John, I always say that John was the one person Jesus said, actually, before I get to that, John, I always said in one of my videos, I say, John the Baptist, John met Jesus even before he came out of the womb of his mother. Because if you look at Luke 1:39 to 45, when Mary, Jesus' mother, went to Elizabeth, Elizabeth was already pregnant with John. And when Mary came close to Elizabeth, the word of God said that John leaped in the stomach of his mother. So I always say that John met Jesus even before he came out of, they both came out of the womb. They met in the womb because Mary was pregnant and Elizabeth was pregnant. When they met, the baby leaped in her stomach. And even Elizabeth, you can see how she felt when she knew that Mary was carrying Jesus. So I say that John knew Jesus even before he was born. John met Jesus in the womb of his mother. I have always said that. If you read Luke, the book of Luke, John was the one who prepared the way for Jesus. He's the one who baptized everyone. John was the one in the wilderness. John is the one who saw the heavens. John is the one who saw all these revelation. He saw all of this. John is the one who was preparing people for Jesus, baptizing people. John is the one who even baptized Jesus. But at the end of his days, because he was arrested, even though he did all of this, he was arrested for telling the truth. He was thrown in prison. And as John was in prison all these years, he lost hope. I figure at one point he was like, if I did all of this, if I seen all of these, and I made people believe all of this, I seen what I see, and I saw what I saw, I can still, why am I in prison? He was stuck, he was thrown in prison. At one point, John gave up. If you look Luke 7, I want you to start with Luke 7, that where John was in prison. At one point, he was questioning, is it really true that everything that I have done, I was born for this. I've done what I was born for. Everything that I have done and ended up in prison just like that for doing nothing wrong, just for telling the truth. So as John was in prison at one point, because he was frustrated, he given up, he lost hope. What John did is, Luke 7, he sent his disciples, because he still have these disciples. He called them and he sent them to go ask Jesus, are you the one who's coming, or should we look for another? Even though he's the one who prepared everybody for Jesus coming. He baptized Jesus. He knows, he told people that he is Jesus. He is the one who's coming. At one point, he lost it. He lost hope. He was like, if I'm sitting in this cell, jail cell, is this really you? Because how can I be stuck in this jail cell? How can I be in this condition after everything that I have done? So he went and asked, and the disciples went and asked Jesus, John wants us to ask you, are you really the one who's coming, or should we wait for another? In other words, should I wait for another one to come and deliver me from this jail cell? Do you not know that I am in this jail cell? If it is you, why am I still sitting in this jail cell? You know what I mean? He was questioning. If it's really you, why am I suffering in this jail cell when I did nothing wrong? You know what Jesus did? Jesus sent the disciples to tell him. Jesus was not upset because he knows he was human himself. He's a human himself. He understood that John is discouraged. John is giving up. He's losing hope. And Jesus understood. Jesus didn't say, who are you to be asking me? Don't question me. No, he didn't say that. Jesus only told the disciples to go and tell him what they saw. The blinded can see. The deaf can hear. The crippled walk. That the lepers are clean. The dead are resurrected. So Jesus just told them to go give him the proof that he is. He didn't answer. He just said, go tell him what you saw. And they went and told John what they saw, just to encourage him that to keep up the hope that he is truly is, but he didn't say, yes, I am. Who are you? No, he just said, go tell him the proof, the things that you saw. And they went and told John the things that Jesus is doing. And that will give him the courage that, okay, there's still hope. So after everything, the worry of John, the discouragement of John, the disappointment, the doubt that he had at one point. Do you know how Jesus described John? In Matthew 11:11, Jesus said, truly I say to you, among those born of a woman, there has arisen no one greater than John the Baptist. Even though he knows John was discouraged, that John was disappointed, he still said that there's no other man to be compared. No other man that is born of a woman to be compared to John the Baptist. So even the greatest man, as Jesus himself has described John to be, John has doubt. Even the greatest man had doubt. He had to mourn. He was mourning. He was sad. He felt left out. He felt abandoned. He felt sad. He felt disappointed. He felt alone. He felt stuck. He felt there was no way out for him. He was disappointed. He was questioning. He was wondering, even after everything. He had questions. He needed help. He needed encouragement. He needed to be sure. He was worried. He was sad. He was lonely. He was stressed out. He had all the issues. Even the greatest man, Jesus described John to be, at the end of the day, he was just like you and I. He was just human. He was just human like you and I. Even though at the end of the day, they still, cut his head off. But at that time, because Jesus could not take him out, because that was his purpose. John had a purpose. And that was his purpose. What he did his purpose. So I am saying this to say, even John of all people was discouraged. So you and I, we are just like John. We are just human. So we can get down. And there's nothing wrong with that. And even Moses, right? Even Moses, that's one of the reasons why Moses did not make it to the promised land. Because if you look at Exodus 14, Moses, we didn't hear the whole story. But one of the story before that, God asked him, and then the Lord said to Moses, why are you crying out to me? Meaning, why are you screaming? And I love the French verse. Why are you screaming? God asked Moses, why are you screaming? That means even Moses lost hope. When the children of Israel was crying to him, when Moses was trying to comfort them, but when he goes to God, he was screaming. He was losing hope himself. That's one of the reasons why he didn't also make it to the promised land. He didn't tell us how he screamed to God, but the verse, this revealed to us that he was also screaming to God, asking, why? We are tired. This is happening. Why this is happening? He was also questioning. So even Moses lost hope at one point. So I am saying all of this, guys, to let you know if you're going through something today, like I was going through, you're feeling something today. I just want to tell you that the best of the best, even the best of the best, lost hope, questioned, wondered, why me? Why am I going through this? Why am I trying to serve you? I'm doing everything that I can. I'm praying. I'm fasting. I'm doing everything. I'm walking the walk. I'm serving you. I'm doing everything. But why am I in this situation? Even the best of the best has asked this question. So you are not, crazy. You are not alone. You are not an alien. You are just human. So I want to tell you today, wherever you are, that you are just human. We are human. It is okay to feel, frustrated sometimes. It is okay to feel alone, to mourn our loved ones, to wonder, why did this happen to me? What is happening? It is okay to feel that way. So I want to tell you that you are not alone. But the only thing I want to tell you is, I'm saying these verses to tell you, to give you comfort, to comfort you and say that, yes, it's okay to question. It's okay to get frustrated. It's okay to mourn, but we can't stay in there. We have to move. We have to use the word of God. We have to see, just like Jesus said, go and tell him all the miracles that you see. So you have to look around you, your family. Even though things are dark, even though things are going so horribly, even though you don't see a way out, I just want to tell you that there is a way out, because God is still on the throne. As long as he's on the throne, he got you. Everything will be fine. As long as you are still breathing, he's still waking you up, because you and I are not awake today by chance. You and I are not breathing today by luck. We are breathing because God chose us to be breathing today. He chose us to be alive today. So as he wakes us up, he's given us another day to live. He has plans for us. And he always wins. He always wins. So the devil, yes, the devil is there. He's powerful, yes, but God is more powerful. God conquered him. God is on the majority side. So I want you to the whole thing is, yes, feel what do you feel. Is not wrong to feel how we feel. The only thing I'm asking you today, I want to comfort you so that you don't stay in there. You need to get up. You need to shake it off. You need to go on your knees and say, Lord, I give everything to you. I know you got this. I know that anything and everything is possible for you. I know that you are impossible possible maker. I know that you say and things happen. You order and things exist. I know that you have the key of death and life. I know you conquer Satan. I know all of these suffering and struggle that I'm going to. I know you already got the victory for me on the cross. I know you are in control. I know I am tired, but you are not tired. I know I cannot see a way out, but you see a way out. I know I cannot do it by myself. I am weak. I am lost. I am needy. I am confused, but you are not. I know I cannot see tomorrow. I don't know what is going to happen tomorrow. I don't see how I'm going to survive this, but I know you are more than able. Anything and everything is possible. It is possible for you. You are impossible possible maker. I know you got me. Yes, I am sad. Yes, I am frustrated. Yeah, yes, I am alone. But I know you are on a throne. And as long as you are on a throne, as long as you choose me to be alive, I know you will make it. You help me make it. I know you got it. I know you will deliver me. I know you will save me. I know you can hear me. I know your powerful hand can reach me. I know you are there. I know even if I don't see it, I know you are there. Look around you. Look around you. No matter how terrible things are, you can still see good. And try to remember the things that he got you from. The things, how you are breathing today. Just breathing alone today. So many people died today, did not wake up today, but you are breathing. So that's a blessing. So I want you to get up and shake it off. And thank God and glorify his name. Bless his name. Worship him. Tell him that you trust him. Tell him, I don't know how. I don't know how. I don't know when. But I know you are never late and you are never early. And I know you will never put anything on me that will be too much for me to carry. Because sometimes he may not pull you out of it. He may not just pull you out of it, but he will come. He will come halfway and carry and hold your hands and walk you through whatever it is you're going through. He may not just, it might be fire. He may not, stop the fire, but he may come and hold your hands and walk you through that fire. So I want you to keep up hope and know that we are human. It is okay. But, trust in him. Call him. And I promise you, he'll come to your rescue. He will do just like he did for me today. Yeah, he didn't come and say, Nicole, wake up. He didn't come and give me a hug and give me warmth and give me word. But he directed me to these stories. That's his way of helping me. That's where I have to help you today. I have to share this with you. So I want you to share this with somebody else, because right now, I did not know who this might touch. I just share it and put it out there. And hopefully one person, I don't know when they're going to hear it, but I know that somebody is going to hear this and it's going to make their day. So I want you to do the same. I want you to share it with anyone that you know, because you don't know. We are going through things we don't even know. So share it with everyone you know. Subscribe to the channel if you have not subscribed already, and also check out the rest of the videos. Stay safe and blessed, and I'll see you on the next one.